Suzanne Guy Alexander was born in Allen County, Kentucky in 1957, the oldest of 4 girls born to Lorne and Imogene Guy. She grew up on a dairy and tobacco farm, and as on most farms, everybody helped out in all areas of farming. Suzanne remembers driving a tractor in the hayfields when she was so young she could not reach the pedals on the tractor. Attending school in Allen County, Suzanne was involved in several school activities such as 4-H, FFA, and Beta Club. However, she started taking piano lessons at age 7, and music was an important part of her life. She was the church pianist for several years and the accompanist for the high school chorus, as well as playing the bassoon in the concert band and the piccolo in the marching band. Suzanne earned a musical scholarship to Western Kentucky University and was the accompanist for the university choral group. She graduated cum laude in 1979 with a degree in music. The summer after graduation, she married Charles David Alexander, whom she met in the music department. Charles was a classical guitarist at Western Kentucky University. Charles loved aviation and became a pilot, and within a couple of years they acquired a Grumman Ag-Cat and started an agricultural flying service which took them to Oklahoma and Texas. During the next couple of years, Suzanne tried to find a job as a music teacher without much success. She was considering going back to school when in 1981, President Ronald Reagan fired many of the air traffic controllers that went on strike. She recalled that a few years earlier she had met an air traffic controller, and getting desperate, she decided to give air traffic control a try. A few months later, she passed the civil service exam and her future was set. It took several months before she was hired, and in the meantime, she had a baby girl. Suzanne was sent to Oklahoma City for a grueling 3-month pass-fail training program, which had a washout rate of 60%. Knowing very little about aviation at the time, training seemed extra tough. She was only one of 6 in a class of 18 that passed. Her first assignment was the Fort Worth Air Route Traffic Control Center as a trainee, and her feeling was she had just landed on Mars. Out of a workforce of about 175 controllers, only about a half dozen were female. The environment was different from any she had ever experienced and was very male-dominated. For 2.5 years, Suzanne was in training, and in 1985 became a full performance-level air traffic control specialist. Suzanne became an airspace and procedure specialist and helped develop and manage a joint large military training exercise. In a few more years, she was promoted to a supervisory position. There were 42 supervisors, only 2 were female. In 1992, she was promoted to her first air traffic manager position at the Boeing Airport Control Tower at Seattle, Washington. The last few years of her career were the most exciting, stressful, and rewarding. As Director of Operations for the Eastern Third of the United States, she was responsible for the safety of the flying public from Bangor, Maine to Memphis, Tennessee to San Juan, Puerto Rico, including New York City and Washington, D.C. Suzanne managed a workforce of over 2,000 employees in almost 200 air traffic control facilities with a multi-million-dollar budget. Suzanne has said that it was always difficult to explain to people, and even to family, what she did. Air traffic controllers have always been good fodder for media and are usually portrayed as stressed out and/or eccentric. Since those were the images most people had, the most frequent questions she has gotten over the years were, "Isn't that a really stressful job? Do you work for the airlines and get to fly free? Are you and the guys on the tarmac with the flashlights directing the planes?" Unfortunately, her profession is the most frequently highlighted when something bad happens, such as a crash or severe delays during the holidays. But the controllers know they do their job well when the tens of thousands of passengers who fly every day all get to their destination with no notice whatsoever. Suzanne retired with 30 years and 5 months of federal service and was honored to have a final approach fix named after her, SUZNE. It is one of the fixes she and her husband used to fly into their home base airport in Union City, Tennessee. It is therefore fitting that Suzanne Guy Alexander be enshrined into the official Aviation Hall of Fame of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.